Yeah, you're on the Irish area.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Story Time with Phil.
Yeah.
Okay, so if everybody just wants to introduce themselves first.
Sure. I'm Mark.
Hey, I'm Nisha.
I'm Brian. I'm Philip.
So, how did you guys first hear about Canadian Music Week?
Yeah, we heard it through FMC. It's an Irish organization. So yeah, we heard it through there. I heard it was like it was yeah, we were saying it was
Almost under construction for a year.
Okay,
He's got
yeah.
a new owner.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the media guys on CBC.
Right.
So
Okay, yeah.
he's got lots of money to invest in the club. So hopefully they're gonna
Keep it open. Yeah, well, great, because it was a great place
Yeah,
to play, and it was.
Yeah, we really like Toronto, like playing. We played here like once or twice before, so looking really. We haven't played the Rivoli where we're playing on Thursday nights, so looking forward to play there.
Have you checked out the Rivoli?
We haven't really been into the venue before yet, so on Thursday we'll check it out, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. But like I said, like we played Toronto before, and it's a great city. So
well, the room there at the Rivoli holds about 150 people.
Right.
So for the type of sets that you guys normally play, how does like a room of 150 kind of fit into that?
Well, awesome. I mean, I think it's less about kind of the.
yeah, we sort of play everywhere, and we play big festivals. We play venues of like 150 capacity. It sort of ranges between what the event is. So we like small, very big crowds. Just
It's funny actually how the vibe of the songs change depending on the capacity of the room. We don't really change how we play them, but just the energy that's involved kind of feed off the crowd, and without sounding too corny. But if there's 150 people and they're all up for it, into it, and kind of up the front, that can often be a much more intense and more energetic show than if there's 300 to 500 people there and they're all kind of chatting or not really into it. It can often be better just to get a concentration of people that are up for a good night.
I had a conversation with another band also from Ireland I've come in for, and one of the things we talked about was just the amount of financial difficulty of musicians, not just in Ireland, but just everywhere. So have you guys felt that at any point?
I think it's.
And especially coming over to Canada.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing to say is that I feel like the industry is still in flux. It's still changing. People are still figuring out exactly what the model is going to be for being a band. I mean, the fact is that, before, when record companies had massive budgets, they would sign an act and maybe develop the act over a number of years and kind of, put a lot of time and effort. And of all the bands they would sign, a very small number would go on to actually be successful, or I mean, it depends as well on your definition of success. I mean, a lot of the time, people in bands can have a definition of success of we'd like to make records and we'd like to continue to make records. So you kind of work from, we want to make a record and then we want to tour it and then we want to, make another record and we want to tour that. So it's about trying to sustain it and figuring out kind of, if you are on a tour, to kind of look at obviously things like merch and selling CDs and there's a lot more involved with actually getting out and meeting people and kind of creating a connection with people, with you and your band and your music.
And obviously social media as well is a great way to build a fan base and sort of get in contact with people that have maybe seen your shows. But
so it's less about people signing to major labels, and it's more about people getting out and finding out how the model is going to work for them.
And do you guys feel that there's kind of a revenue stream that you're really focusing on right now? Is it the live income, or is it you're split between merch and?
I think it's a combination of live shows and merch and stuff like that. Like obviously, selling records is like Spotify. You'll have some sort of income from that, but it's not exactly.
I mean, in fairness, like Spotify checks buy a few flight tickets every so often, so
radio play here and there.
Exactly,
But it's sort of more of a combination of a lot of things,
So you have played Toronto before, so there is some audience that you can kind of expect a little bit. For anybody who's not heard you in Toronto, which is I'm going to guess it's about 4 million people.
Yeah.
But
Pretty accurate.
That's the population
but for
of that's
anybody who's
population
not
of
here in
Ireland.
Toronto, what would you say is the one thing that really somebody who's passing by the Rivoli that night and just they're checking out shows, what should they expect coming in to hear you? Like one thing.
Loud music.
I guess
Hit after hit.
I guess
Solid gold.
it's sort of, I know, we like try to put as much energy into our shows as we can and sort of engage with the audience and, you know, sort of play to the people in the room. And
I think first and foremost, the songs are always written with a live setting in mind. We're always thinking about how this can be achieved on the live stage, and how, you know, people are going to react to it, and really giving people, you know, bang for their buck in that sense. And that always translates onto CD. It always translates onto recording because there's a really strong vibe there. And that's what's a really strong part of Acrobat sound, is the vibe. Whereas some artists or some recordings or songs are made with technology and are made for CD, and there's amazing post-production and effects and things on it, which doesn't necessarily translate to live shows. And especially something like Canadian Music Week, where you've got 40 minutes to show people, you know, we've come across to see, you know, to play these songs for you, you know, get into it. Where there's some artists where you just have to kind of sit down, close your eyes and appreciate it. We're sort of more of a, let's get up and dance.
Okay. So I'm saying, of course, the tip words here.
Sponsorship.
yeah,
Which-
yeah, we get some free
Endorsement.
Maybe they could be your sponsor. For
Yeah,
the tour.
They
yeah.
bought the flight tickets.
We
Uh,
used to have in Toronto, there was a blog called Buying Shots for Bands, or Buying Drinks for Bands.
Right.
They're not really an active blog anymore, but if people in Toronto coming to the Rivoli are going to buy you drinks, what are they going to buy you?
Dr. Pepper.
a
Big fan.
we're I don't
Think
know.
of something really cool, man. Campari and tonic or something. A beer would be great.
Yeah,
Something local.
And
Bottle of
last-
bubbly.
Yeah. Last question then is basically after Canadian Music Week, what's next you got?
We're literally about to get into a recording cycle, so we're going home to record another record, and we'll be concentrating on that. We'll be playing actually quite a bit of it at the show
Thursday
on
night.
Thursday. Our show on Thursday is going to be kind of, I think it's like half and half.
It's half and half. It's of our last record that we released in October, and then the other half is these new batch of songs that we're going to go record when we get back home. So it'll be it's going to be exciting just to play the set with this sort of old and new stuff together. So so that's the next thing for Acrobat.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That's
Cool,
great,
no,
man.
thanks.
Like
Thanks.
at 10 in the morning.
Thanks,
right?
man.
No, we're on in Ireland. It's like the afternoon. So.
Did you just fly in?
No, we got here
Just
late
jet lags.
yesterday or whatever.
Yeah,
so
yesterday.
Waking up at 6 in the morning.
it's great. Yeah, like getting up at 6 in the